नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिने इति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिने इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गिरधारी राधे जय राधा गिरधारी राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय राधा बांके बिहारी राधे जय राधा बांके बिहारी राधा बांके बिहारी राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। ओ जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरे वनचारी यमुना तीरे वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम्। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So last time we have discussed till 5.5, that is yat sankhya prapate sthanam tad yoger api gamyate ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna in this sloka 5.5 that the one who sees devotional service and analytical study on the same level, they have actually seen the truth. They actually know the truth. The one who sees both Sankhya and Karma are same, sees things as they are. So understanding why Karma Yoga is better than Sankhya Yoga is known as Jnana Yoga. Okay. So in this we have seen that for sloka number 5.5, Bhagwan, Paramatma, Brahman, Paramatma, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. There are three levels of Supreme Lord Truth. Superior path, Karma Yoga, that is the devotional service. Always engage senses in devotional service. Engage in good work will automatically stop improper work. So, if you are engaging in good work, automatically the bad effects will be nullified. Okay. So, Lord Krishna's recommendation is the transcendentally seeking liberation path of Karma Yoga, that is devotional service, or they follow path of Sankhya Yoga, that is Jnana Yoga. Both are same. So, Jnana Yoga is the dry mental speculation method in which soul is active in nature, needs engagement using senses. Okay. So, we have discussed till 5.5. Now, today we will see 5.6. Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, verse number 5.6. So, dry renunciation, that is the Jnana Marga, is too difficult and distressful. So, now in this sloka, in the last sloka, Lord Krishna explaining Arjuna that Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga is same. Now, here Lord Krishna is saying that Jnana Yoga is the dry renunciation and it is difficult and distressful. Okay. So, we will see 5.6. Sanyasastu mahabaho dukham aptum ayogata yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adhigacchati. So, merely renouncing all activities yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy, but a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. So, the one who is engaged in devotional service, he has to perform nothing. Liberation will automatically come to him. And merely renouncing all activities and not engaging in devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. If you are involved in so many things, but not involved in devotional service, okay, so this is you will not get liberation by this way. You will be always unhappy. There is something missing, there is something missing. What is the missing? Devotional service. So, you have to understand that what is missing and how it is to be performed. So, devotional service is to be performed. You are doing anything, that is separate. But if you are performing devotional service, then it is complete. Otherwise, it becomes dry mental renunciation. Okay. So, Mayavadi sannyasis generally follows the Jnana Yoga. Okay. Engaged in study of Sankhya philosophy. Okay. Sankhya philosophy, that is one Sarirak Bhashya given by Shankaracharya. Okay. So, they come under the Mayavadi sannyasis. Okay. Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga, it means what? What you are doing? You are not renouncing the work. In Karma Yoga, you are not renouncing the work. You are renouncing the attachment with the fruits of action. And that is actually required. That is the complete Karma Yoga. That is the complete Karma Yoga. So, if you are following, if you are not attached with the results of your action of your work, then it is the complete Karma Yoga. Vaishnava Sannyasi, they follow Karma Yoga. They do chanting, they do the deity seva, deity service, they donate, they associate with devotees, okay, they distribute prasadam, they sponsor prasadam. So, these are all activities of Vaishnava Sannyasi, and this comes under Karma Yoga. So, Vaishnava Sannyasi doesn't renounce the work itself, he renounces the attachment with the fruits of action of the work, and that is required actually. So, Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga. Process is easier, quickly gives liberation. Karma Yoga quickly gives liberation. Why? Because you are not attached with the results of work. And Mayavadi sannyasis are involved in the study of Sarirak Bhashya given by Shankaracharya, engaged in dry mental speculation. Since their studies become very tedious and tired of Brahman speculation, take shelter of the Bhagavatam without proper understanding. Sometimes fall down into material activities. So, there are chances that you may fall down. there are chances that you may fall down. Because it is the method of dry mental speculation. And activities that Vaishnava sannyasi they are involved in, okay, the variety of devotional service according to Pancharatriki regulations. Chanting, doing arti, going for Mangalarti in the morning, Tulsi Arti, chanting 16 rounds or 32 rounds, 64 rounds, on Ekadasi days sometimes 25 rounds. Respecting, associating with devotees, okay, eating prasadam, taking prasadam, distributing prasadam, putting tilak on the forehead, okay, so many things. They are involved in the devotional service. They are engaging themselves in the devotional activities. The destination, happily perform devotional service. Who? Vaishnava sannyasis happily perform devotional service and go to a spiritual world at end of life. So, and Mayavadi sannyasis, since their study become very tedious, tired of Brahman, speculation, okay, so there are chances that sometime they fall down. And Vaishnava sannyasis are engaged in the study of Bhagavatam. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Okay. So now we will see difference between work in devotion and renunciation of work. So conclusion, difference between renunciation and work in devotion. Okay. So there are 10 to 12 difference. And the respective verse is also given 3.3, 5.2, 5.4, 5, 6. Okay. There are 3, 4, 6. So, in 3.3 it is given that needs prior purification by prescribed duties. Mayavadi sannyasa needs prior purification by prescribed duties. And work in devotion, in Vaishnava sannyasi, their process itself purifies. Their process itself purifies. Process itself purifies. Why? Because they are involved in devotional service. So their process itself purifies. So in 5.2 says simply jnana insufficient for liberation. Your jnana may not be purified. Your jnana may not be purified. So that purification is required. And in work in devotion, action is must. Must act in status of soul. So those who are work in devotion, those who are karma yogis, they actually work in devotion. They work for soul. Okay, they try to attach soul with the super soul. And 5.2 says, for Mayavadi sannyasis there are risks of falling down. Why? Because it is a dry mental speculation. So in dry mental speculation there are chances you may fall down. But work in devotion or karma yogis, the itself is very high level. Success guaranteed. Entrance into God's kingdom. You will get entry into the God's kingdom. And even Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada gives guarantee that you follow 4 regulatory principles, do 16 round chanting, I will take you to the Goloka Vrindavan. So what are the 4 regulations? 4 regulations are be away from illicit sex, no intoxication. Illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. These are the 4 things you have to be away from. And do 16 round chanting. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So in devotional service, if you follow the path of devotional service, success is guaranteed. And Srila Prabhupada is giving guarantee that if you follow 4 regulatory principles and do 16 round chantings, I will take you to the back door of Golok, the Vrindavan Dham. So this is the guarantee given by, whereas all other acharyas or gurus suggest that do at least 32 rounds, 64 rounds, go for 64 rounds every day. But Srila Prabhupada has given concession to us, do 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulatory principles. Then 5.4 says, find the root. Find the root, Vishnu. So Mayavadi sannyasis are finding about the information about the Vishnu, information about Vishnu. So they are trying to find out the root. But Vaishnava sannyasis are watering the root. So if you water the root, automatically all the branches will be green. They will be nourished properly. 5.5, process is to detach from matter. Detach from matter. So whatever Mayavadi sannyasis follow, their process is to detach from matter. And Vaishnava sannyasis, their activities, because of their activities, they become attached to Krishna. They are close to Krishna. So Vaishnava sannyasis are close to Krishna. And the process of Mayavadi sannyasis is to detach from matter. 5.6 says that Mayavadi sannyasis, they have no happiness. In their renunciation, there is no happiness. But in devotional service, devotees are always happy. Brings happiness. Why? Because they are chanting 24 hours a day, 365 days, 7 days in a year. All time they are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So all time, 24 hours a day, 7 days in a week and 365 days in a year, they are chanting. So I don't mean that they are just sitting idle and chanting. They are doing their activity, and in their activity they are remembering Krishna. They are keeping Lord Krishna in center. And that is important. So you have to understand Krishna, who Krishna is. Who Krishna is. You have to understand who Krishna is. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So Krishna is Supreme Proprietor. Krishna is Supreme Enjoyer. So we have to work for Krishna. Why? Because everything belongs to Krishna. Aham sarvasya pravartate. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Mattah sarvam pravartate. Okay, so that needs to be understood. Okay, and 5.6 also says, senses restricted cannot relish transcendental devotional service. Senses restricted cannot release transcendental devotional service. Senses engaged. So you have to, don't restrict. If you are restricted from going to straight, you will go with some other way. So what you have to do, what is the smart work over here? You have to engage your senses. Because sense is very, very smart, very, very smart. You cannot stop, you cannot restrict senses. You can engage your senses. So instead of restricting, if you engage your senses, that is better. So if you are engaging yourself in some work, so there are less chances that you will fall down. Okay. So, and in 5.6 also says, they take many births. They do some pious activity, again they, because of their good karma, they take birth and death. So they are entangled into birth and death cycle. But those who are engaged in devotional service, they achieve Supreme Personality of Godhead. They quickly achieve Supreme Personality of Godhead. And once you achieve Supreme Personality of Godhead, nothing remains. Why? Because you are watering the root, you are not finding the root. So they are wasting their time in finding the root. But Vaishnava sannyasis are watering the root. If you water the root, all the branches, the entire tree will be nourished automatically. 5.6 also says, study Sankhya philosophy. So Mayavadi sannyasis, they study Sankhya philosophy. They study Sharirak Bhashya given by Shankaracharya. And devotees, those who are in devotional service, who are the devotees of Lord Krishna, they study Srimad Bhagavatam. They preach Bhagavad Gita. They preach Chaitanya Charitamrita. So many books are there. They preach Krishna, the book. They talk about Krishna Leela. They think about Krishna Leela. They study, they read scriptures. Mayavadi sannyasis scripture is Sharirak Bhashya on Vedanta Sutra by Shankaracharya. So, Shankaracharya has written Sharirak Bhashya on Vedanta Sutra. Devotees, Vaishnavas study Srimad Bhagavatam, natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra, and Sharirak Bhashya is the commentary on Vedanta Sutra given by Shankaracharya. Then 12th difference is verse number 5.6. Mayavadi sannyasis may fall down to philanthropic and altruistic activity. Mayavadi sannyasis definitely fall down to philanthropic and altruistic activities. And devotees have multiple engagements in devotional service according to Pancharatriki regulations. So those who are Vaishnavas, they have multiple engagements in devotional service according to Pancharatriki regulations. So they are doing Mangalarti, they are doing Tulsi Arti, they are going for morning darshana, they are associating with devotees, they are sponsoring prasadam, they are distributing prasadam. So many things are there. They are always engaged in the devotional service. So if you are engaging your senses, there are less chances, or there are no chances, there is very rare chances that you may fall down or falling down. But if you are involved in dry mental speculation, you are just restricting your senses. So what will happen? This meditation will break and you will fall down. Okay. So in Mayavadi sannyasi there are chances of falling down, and in Vaishnava sannyasi there are no chances of falling down. Why? Because they are engaged in some service, in some Lord Krishna's service. Then summary section of B, verse number 5.7 to 5.12. So, the performance of Niskama karma, working with detachment. What is Niskama karma? Working with detachment. If you are working with attachment, that is karma kanda. But if you are working with detachment, that is known as Niskama karma. And if you are attaching, if you are sacrificing, if you are offering the results of fruits of action, that is called karma yoga. Means you are attaching your karma to Krishna. If you are attaching your karma to Krishna, so all these bad habits, activities will not touch you. No sinful reaction will happen, never. So verse number 7 to 9, 5.7 to 5.9 says, a pure soul does not become entangled. Why? They engage their sentence to the right place, that is to the absolute supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. Although working, because he fixes his consciousness upon Krishna. So it seems that devotees are working in material life, but their mind is always on Krishna. So because of this habit, because of this keeping Krishna in center, what will happen? No sinful reaction will touch them. So even though it seems that they are involved in material activities, but sinful reaction will not touch them. He knows that while the body acts, he does nothing. He knows that I am doing everything, but actually I am not doing. Krishna is doing. It is the will of Krishna that I have to do this. So Krishna had assigned me this task, I am doing it, and I don't expect any result. It will be completely offered to Krishna. Krishna will sanctify, and whatever he wishes will give me. Otherwise, it all belongs to Krishna. Krishna is the supreme proprietor. Aham sarvasya prabho, mattah sarvam pravartate. So Lord Krishna is the proprietor, supreme proprietor of spiritual world, entire spiritual world and entire material world, entire universe. So he knows that while the body acts, he does nothing. Who? Devotees knows that while the body is acting, but actually he is not doing anything. So that's what Lord Krishna wanted to explain Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, actually I have already killed them. They are all, I have already killed your enemies. Don't worry about that. You just become my instrument and fight. That's what you have to. And after killing, no sinful reaction will touch you. The material senses are simply engaged with their sense objects. He knows that while the body acts, he does nothing. The material senses are simply engaged with their sense objects. Okay? But actually they are not involved. They are, why? Because Krishna is there. So Krishna will protect you. Krishna will protect you. Okay, so that's there in the 5.7 to 5.9. Then 5.10 to 12, it is said, one who does his duty without attachment, that is the supreme purpose. Once you got a habit of doing your activity without attachment. Attachment means what? Attaching to results. Attaching to result, detaching to Krishna. Detaching from result, attaching to Krishna. Okay? So one who does his duty without attachment, steadily acting with body, mind, intelligence and senses just for the satisfaction of Krishna. It means if you are not attached with the fruits of action, it means your body, mind, intelligence, everything is working for Krishna, to fulfill the desire of Krishna. And he attains peace, while one greedy for the fruits of his labor becomes entangled. So those who are greedy, those who are attached to the fruits of action, they will suffer. They are fulfilling the desire of their sense objects. They are enjoying. They have engaged their senses in enjoying. My money, I am the proprietor. So much wealth, I have got it. Who is Krishna? That is the mentality which destroys one's life. Okay, that is told in 5.10 to 12. Now, next is 5.7. So 5.7 talks about one who works in devotion. A pure soul working in devotion has controlled mind and senses. It is dear to everyone. To one who is a devotee. So devotee is loved by everyone. Everyone loves devotee. And devotee loves everyone. Okay. So 5.7. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriya sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. One who works in devotion, who is a pure soul and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone. And everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. Okay, so his mind, he has control on his senses, his mind, senses, intelligence, everything working for Krishna. So such a person loves everyone and loved by everyone. So one who works in devotion, a pure soul working in devotion, has controlled mind and senses, is dear to everyone. So this is the verse number 7, Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, 5.7. So, person acting in Niskama karma platform, realizations, sees all living entities as spirit soul, part and parcel of the Supreme, hence dear to all, and all living entities dear to him. So what is the understanding of a devotee? The one who is self-realized? He understands that every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So why to hate? Why to hate? So such a person, soul is pure. If soul is pure and he thinks that every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna, such a person, such a nice person, such a kind-hearted person is loved by everyone. And he is a devotee. So what a devotee does? Devotee water the root. Instead of finding out the root like Mayavadi sannyasis, they water the root. They are feeding a stomach. They feed the stomach, satisfy all the limbs. So there are two analogies, watering the root. Instead of watering to the branches and leaves separately, they water the root. So watering the root, this process itself is purified. This process itself nourishes the entire tree. So what you have to learn? We have to learn watering the root. Worship Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor. Lord Krishna is supreme proprietor. He is the supreme controller. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, acting as servant to all living entities. Okay, so devotee acts as a servant to every. Dasanudas. I am the servant of Lord Krishna. This should be the mentality. So he acts as servant to all living entities. So such a person is loved by everyone. He is very, very dear to all. He loves everyone and he is loved by everyone. Another analogy is feeding stomach. If hand think that no, I will not feed stomach, I will not work for stomach, I will earn, I will prepare and I will eat myself. Is this possible? No. Our soul is like supreme personality of Godhead. Our stomach is like a supreme personality of Godhead. So all our body parts are working to feed the stomach. Similarly, all the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. So we should all work for Krishna. We should all work to fulfill the desire of Krishna instead of fulfilling your own desire. Okay, so if you work for Krishna, your desire becomes desirelessness. And if you work for yourself, your desire is a problem. And persons acting in Niskama Karma Yoga, action, mind, senses are completely controlled. Devotee's mind and senses are completely controlled. Devotee is servant to all. He has complete control on mind and senses. Okay, so completely control mind and senses doesn't mean just sit idle at one place. No, engage your senses in devotional service. If you are not engaging, then it is as good as dry mental speculation. There are chances of falling down. So, devotee is servant to all. Therefore, he is dear to all and satisfies all. Okay, so become Dasanudas. So, devotee always thinks that I am Dasanudas. I am not direct servant of Krishna. I am servant of Krishna. Okay, so you have to serve the devotees. Okay, so serving the devotee has more benefit than serving directly to Lord Krishna. Okay, Krishna is pleased more if you serve the devotees. Okay, so acting as servant to all living entities. That's why devotees are loved by everyone. Okay, so mind and senses are completely controlled. Devotee's mind. Devotee is servant to all, therefore he is dear to all, satisfies all. Thus, he is always pure in consciousness. He is always pure in consciousness. He never get pride that, oh, I am so. This belongs to me. I have so much money. I have got BMW. This BMW belongs to me. I have earned lot of. This is my hard-earned money. Okay, so pure consciousness leads to mind and sense control. Okay, so how this pure consciousness can be achieved? You have to understand that all the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. Serve the devotees. I am not direct servant of Krishna. I am the servant of Krishna. If you think like that, your consciousness is purified automatically. It means your mind and senses are in control. Okay, so you have to engage your senses in the service of Lord Krishna, onto the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay, so realization and actions, then what are the result? Never entangle, because work is not based on desire of mind and senses, but based on Krishna's desire. So if you are working for Krishna, your life will be automatically purified. How can Arjuna be offensive to others? He was not offensive. Soul cannot be killed. Only dress changes. So Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you are not killing anyone. Why? Because soul cannot be killed. Soul na hanyate na hanyamane sarire. Okay, soul cannot be killed, and also soul never kills anyone. Soul cannot kill and soul cannot be killed. Both ways. Okay, only soul, only the body changes the dress. So, soul is inside and this body is the dress for soul. So, what happens? If one is killed in the battlefield, what happens? Dress changes. The soul enters into other body. So what is happening? Soul is there, same soul. Previously was in some other body. Okay, so many bodies, there are 84 lakh species. Okay, all the species, so you can get birth in any species. But if you are doing devotional service, in one life only you will be liberated, you will go back to home, back to Godhead. Golok Vrindavan Dham. Okay, so if at all you want to be liberated, you want to get relief from the birth and death, cycle of birth and death, you have to perform devotional service. Become servant of Krishna. Engage your mind and intelligence, senses unto the lotus feet of Krishna, unto the service of spiritual guru. Associate with devotees. So this all process will purify your life, your consciousness. So Arjuna was not fighting, but only carrying out orders of Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Krishna said, oh Krishna, oh Arjuna, you don't have fear inside. No sinful reaction will touch you. You have to follow my order. You kill everyone, keeping in your mind, remember me. Just remember me and fight. What will happen? Sinful reaction will not touch you. You are a Kshatriya and they are destroying the society. Your enemy is standing in front of you. They are not your family and kinsmen. They are the destroyer of society. And being as a Kshatriya, you should kill them. This is your duty. To protect the society, this is the duty of Kshatriyas. That's why, oh Arjuna, fight. Then verse number 8 to 9. Verse number 8 to 9 says, a person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in activities, knows that only the material senses are engaged with objects and that he is aloof from them. So although it seems that they are working in material life, but their consciousness is pure. Their mind, intelligence, senses are in control. So nothing will happen to them. Okay. So 5.8 to 9. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavid pashyan shrinavan sprishan jigran gachan swapan swasan pralpan visrajan grihan unmisam nimishchan api indriyani indriyartheshu vartant iti dharayan. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. So this is the pure consciousness. You do everything, but your consciousness is pure, mind and senses are in control. That I am doing it for Krishna. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving or opening or closing the eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged within their objects and that he is aloof from them. Okay, only material senses are engaged, they are working, but my consciousness is pure, my mind and senses, my object, my mind and senses are in control. So it seems that they are working in material life, but they are not attached to the fruits of action. The fruits of action is completely offered to Krishna. Oh Krishna, I am working because this work you have assigned me. I have to do this. If Lord Krishna says that you do this, you don't have to think twice. You have to just do it. That is our duty. So Arjuna, Lord Krishna is saying, oh Arjuna, don't think. I am saying fight, you fight. That's all. Okay. So putting ourselves in the footsteps of Arjuna, we have to follow the same. Like Arjuna is performing, Arjuna is fighting for Krishna, we have to live in this material world for Krishna. The whole activities should be performed for the service of Krishna. That is the pure consciousness. Okay, and that's what is there in this sloka. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma in 5.7. Then here at 5.8 to 9, naiva kinchit karomiti yukto mannesu tattvit pashyan shrinavan ispasan jigran gachan swapan swasan pralpan visrajan grihan unmisan nimishan api indriyani indriyartheshu vartant iti dharayat. Okay, so person acting in Niskama Karma Yoga platform. Okay, so his realization, his actions and results. So in this sloka, his realizations, those who are acting in Niskama Karma platform, their realization, action and results. Persons acting in Niskama Karma platform, so his realization, he knows material activities as interactions of senses with sense object. Knows soul is inactive materially. So the soul doesn't perform anything material. Soul is the part and parcel of super soul. Soul is eternal. super soul is also eternal. So super soul is eternal, so that's why soul is also eternal. Okay, we say in Atma and Paramatma. Okay, so those who are acting in pure Krishna consciousness, they realize that their consciousness is pure. They are pure in existence. They are aloof from actions which depend on five immediate remote cause: the doer, the work, the situation, the endeavor, the fortune. So there are five immediate and remote cause. Always conscious of his actual position as a servitor. Senses engaged in Krishna's service. So they are, those who are doing Niskam Karma Yoga, Niskam Karma, they are actually purified. They are actually purified. Their consciousness is pure. Their mind and senses are in control. Always conscious of his actual position as a servitor. Senses engaged in Krishna's service. Actions. Always engaged in the loving transcendental service of Krishna. Their actions are always engaged in the loving transcendental service of Krishna. Okay, so there are all activities they perform for Krishna. So although he appears to be acting with his body and senses, his consciousness is pure. So consciousness is pure means what? They are not doing for themselves, they are doing it for Krishna. So he is always conscious of his actual position, which is the spiritual engagement. Senses are engaged in the satisfaction of Krishna's senses. So he doesn't satisfy his own senses, he satisfies the senses of Krishna. So although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows that he actually does nothing at all. Only material senses are engaged with their objects, that he is aloof from them. So what is the result of such a realization and action? Always free, even though he appears to be engaged in affairs of the senses. So material things will never touch him, although he is engaged all time in material activities, but material things will not touch him. Okay, so Krishna, so always they are cooking, they are doing it for Krishna. They are eating, I am eating Krishna Prasada, so it was offered before. So when you prepare a food, it is a food, it is an ordinary meal. But once you offer it to Krishna, it becomes prasadam. And if you take that prasadam is sanctified, purified. And when you eat such prasadam, your consciousness is purified, your life is purified. Okay, so whether you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or you are doing any activity by keeping Krishna in center, you are eating Krishna Prasadam, these are all similar activities. These are all similar activities. Then Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, verse number 10, 5.10. So performing duty without attachment and surrendering results unto Supreme Lord leads to unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. Okay, so when you perform any activity, don't be attached. Okay. Okay, so it's like a student is preparing for exam. Prepare, give you 100%. Krishna give you the result. So Krishna is responsible for giving the result. That is important. You have to understand. Okay. So now, performing duty, person acting in Niskama Karma Yoga platform, that is verse number 10. We have seen in verse number 6, 5.6, then 5.7 to 8, 9, and then we are verse number 10. We are looking at person acting in Niskama Karma platform. verse number 5.10. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yah lipyate na sa papena padma patram ivambhasa. One who performs his duty without attachment and surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord. So what you have to do? You have to perform your activity, but surrender the results unto the lotus feet of Krishna. Is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. You can see, we know that lotus leaf which is there in the water, but water never touches the leaf of lotus. Lotus leaf is untouched by the water. In the same way, you have to work in the material world by keeping center in Krishna. The material sinful action will never touch you. Okay? That's what it is explained in this particular sloka, that is 5.10. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yah lipyate nasa papena padma patram ivambhasa. Okay, so performing duty without attachment. Attachment means you are not attached to the result, and surrendering result unto the Supreme Lord, unto the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, leads to unaffected by sinful action. If this is the consciousness, sinful action will not touch you, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. So lotus leaf is analogy over here. So very good analogy. Okay, so those who are acting in Niskama karma platform, they realize, they know that everything belongs to Krishna only. All the things belongs to Krishna. Krishna, why? Krishna is the source of everything. He is the source of everything. The entire universe, the entire spiritual world, the entire material world, everything belongs to Krishna. Okay, so everything belongs to Krishna only. One who knows perfectly well that he is the proprietor of everything, therefore engages everything in the service of the Lord. Naturally has nothing to do with the results of his activities, whether virtuous or sinful. Okay, means you just perform your work, leave everything on Krishna. By this, no sinful reaction will touch you. Acts without attachment with no desire for results. Acts without attachment with no desire for results. Devotee surrenders results unto Supreme Lord, acts according to knowledge that body is property of Krishna, and engage in service of Krishna. This my entire body is property of Krishna. I am not proprietor of this body. Krishna is the supreme proprietor. Okay, so Krishna has given me this body, so I have to take care of this body. How you take care? So you have to engage this body in the service of Krishna. That is the great care, supreme care. So what you have to do? You have to engage everything for the service of Krishna. This is the thing we have to understand. And what is the result? There is one good analogy of lotus leaf is given. Do not incur any sin. Even if by mistake you perform some sinful action, sinful reaction will never touch you. By the grace of Supreme Lord Krishna, by the grace of devotees, by the grace of spiritual masters, by the grace of acharyas, by the grace of guru, sadhu and shastra. So what you have to do? Consciously do your work without attachment. If you are not attached, no sinful reaction will touch you. This is the guarantee that Krishna is giving us. Oh Krishna, oh Arjuna, If I am giving you this knowledge, now you can stand and fight. I am saying that they are your enemy, they are destroying the society, you can kill them. Those who are destroyer of the society, they should not be protected. Kshatriyas, those who are looking after administration, immediately they should punish them. Because now there is one doer, tomorrow they will become 2, 4, 6, 12, like this, increasing in double. Okay, so those who are performing, those who are destroying the society, or they are becoming the cause of destruction of society, they should be immediately punished, they should be immediately killed, they should be immediately removed out of the society. This is the duty of Kshatriya. So Lord Krishna is explaining Arjuna, oh Arjuna, this is your duty, you have to kill them, stand and fight. Okay, this is given in 5.10. Okay, 5.11 we will see next time. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay, no question, so we will stop over here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. वांछा कल्पतरु भगवस्य कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा।